Cosenza are currently bottom of Serie B, 5 points adrift of safety, making them officially the worst side in Italy. And to make matters worse, Cosenza's trophy cabinet is absolutely barren, with one Serie D title which they won 60 years ago, and a Coppa Italia Serie C trophy in 2015. This is similar to the Virtue Trophy in England. If ever a club needed a rebuild in FC25, it's Cosenza. So today we are jumping into FC25, we are taking charge of Cosenza, and we are not only going to make them the champions of Europe, but the most dominant side in Italy as well. And if you do enjoy the content, boys, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as it does really help me out. We're edging very close now to 5,000 subscribers. Let's now jump into FC25 and get this Cosenza rebuild on the way. So this is the Cosenza team we've loaded into in FC25, and there's so much going on with this team at the minute, I don't even know where to start. They're going with a crazy formation, they've got a poor squad, not many good players. This is going to be a really interesting rebuild. Now, the best players at the club are goalkeeper Alessandro Mica, who is 30-year-old and 72 rated, followed by a player we actually had in our recent Malaga rebuild, Tommaso Fumagalli, who's in on loan from Como. We've also got a decent attacking midfielder, Luca Gaetano, who is 30-year-old and 71 rated. But there is a catch in this rebuild. It's not going to be plain sailing. We will only be able to sign free agents in this rebuild, which is going to really make this much more difficult, because as you know, in FC25, free agents list is nowhere near as good as it used to be in previous games. But the beauty of free agents are they don't cost too much money, and given the fact we're starting with 3 million euros, we should be able to sign some decent ones in season 1. Before we sign any players, we have to decide on a formation that we're going to use and the personnel we want actually starting games for us in season 1. So the formation that I want to use in this rebuild is the 4-3-3 attack, and the way we are going to play is an aggressive, high press counter-attacking system. And now that we've sorted out our starting 11 and got some really promising young players into the team like Lorenzi, Faldis and Ciervo, the team is instantly looking a lot stronger on paper, and we do also have a decent bench as well. However, we now need to bring some players into this club to give us a better chance of success in season 1, and the main position we have to sign someone is in the left wing position. We don't actually have an out-and-out left winger at the club. I'm confident there will be some good ones on the free agents list. Now, I would also like to sign a centre-back as well, as I feel that's the weakest area of our squad. If we can bring a left winger and centre-back to the club, I don't think we'll finish bottom of Serie B like Cosenza are going to do in real life. They may even have an outside chance of getting into the playoff places, and it's now time to shift through the free agents list to see what talent we can find. So lads, after an in-depth search of the free agents list, we have managed to sign 3 players all above 70 rated who make our team a lot better. Kicking off with the left winger, Alexander Nazarenko joins us on a 2-year deal. He's 24-year-old, 73 rated. It's like a really decent player. Hopefully he can develop quite a bit in a Cosenza shirt. We then made a very interesting signing, lads. As we know, Fumagalli is not our player, meaning we will not be able to sign him for a fee at the end of the season. So we've brought in a striker. Mateus Borgos has joined us on a 2-year deal. He's 22 years old, 71 rated. Looks like a really decent striker. He's going to be our starting striker heading into season 1, as we want to get him developing as quick as possible. And we have made an outstanding signing in the centre-back position, as Jesus Orozco Chikwete signs on a 2-year deal. 73 rated, 22-year-old. Looks like a really decent defender, instantly the best defender at the club, and I think these 3 signings are real statement signings. And with the 3 new boys added to our starting 11, we're instantly looking much better going into season number 1, and I think we can get bottom of the league out of our mind. I genuinely think this squad can push for promotion in season 1. Now, unfortunately, because this is a free agent only rebuild, we'll be doing no youth scouting. However, I will need suggestions on where to send my youth scouts in my next video, so make sure you get your suggestions in the comment section down below. And before we progress on any further in this rebuild, if you are enjoying the content, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. We are getting so close to 5,000 subscribers, boys. So to be honest, I don't really think there's much more we can do other than simulate forward straight through to the end of season 1. Pick a formation, pick to starting 11, sign some players. We're going to get some coaches in off camera, sort the training plans out and development plans. Now I'll meet you back at the end of season 1. Let's see how Cosenza get on in our first season. So we have arrived at the end of season number 1, lads, and we actually finished 6th in the Serie B table, meaning we would be in the playoffs and in with a chance of promotion to Serie A. You may think I'm really happy about this, lads. I really am not. Some woeful form towards the end of the season saw us win just 1 of our final 11 games. times. And unfortunately, that horrible form would follow us into the playoffs, where we got beat by Spezia 4-2, meaning we were knocked out at the first hurdle, and we will still be a Serie B side in season number 2. Looking at the team, boys, I think this team should have got promoted. This is a very strong team on paper. There are some 60 rated players still in there, but we've got a lot of players who are well above 70 rated. There's players in this team who are definitely a low-end Serie A standard, and our horrible end of season form has completely ruined what was a very solid season. Our performance in the Coppa Italia was terrible as well, getting knocked out in the first round by Cosenza. So it's under no question that we need some reinforcements in season number 2. Ciervo is only in on loan, so we will need to bring a new right winger to the club. We'll also need to replace Martino at right back, as he's not good enough to get us promoted. Could do with getting a left back and centre back if they're available, as Ricci and Florenzi aren't good enough to get us promoted either. But it's literally completely dependent on who's available on a free contract next season. And in terms of stats, it was our new signing Mateusz Bogus who was our best player, getting 16 goals and 4 assists. Nazarenko had a really good season as well. He scored 12 times and got 4 assists. Our output in front of goal was really poor this season. We have to step it up in season 2. So we've arrived in season 2 and we've got a fairly healthy transfer budget of 5 million euros, so signing free agents should not be an issue. So after an in-depth scout of the free agents list, we have made 6 new signings heading into season number 2, and I do think we have significantly improved the strength of our starting 11 with these signings. Kicking things off, we brought in a young German left back, Kelim Kalanoglu. He is 22-year-old, 68 rated, not the best player, but at 22-year-old he does have a little bit of room to grow. He'll be our starting left back for season 2. We also signed a new right back, Femi Serike, who has joined us on a 4-year deal. He's 23-year-old, 69 rated. He's an upgrade on Martino. He's rapid. He'll be our starting right back for season 2 as well. We then brought in a right winger. Vasco Lopez is in to replace Ciervo. He's 70 rated, 25-year-old, is also 6'2", a bit of a physical specimen. Looks like a tidy player at Serie B level. We then made a very interesting signing, lads. We have signed Christopher Horvath, who is 23-year-old, 71 rated and an attacking midfielder. I just felt like Garitano at 72 rated and 31-year-old was definitely in a hot spot for being replaced. Horvath is almost 10 years younger and only 1 overall point weaker, so he will be our starting attacking midfielder going into season 2. And now on to our 2 marquee signings of season number 2. We signed a new goalkeeper, Raul Rangel. He's 25-year-old, 74 rated, looks like a really decent goalkeeper at 25-year-old, still has some room to grow. He'll be starting for us in season 2. And then our main signing of season 2 was central midfielder Josh Da Silva, coming from the Premier League. He's 26-year-old, 74 rated, really decent box-to-box midfielder. I'm hoping his experience and ability in midfield will help fire us to promotion. With all our new signings added to the starting 11, this is how the team is looking going into season number 2. We've definitely significantly improved our starting 11, and by improving our starting 11, we have also improved our bench as well, as team players have now become rotation players, and I don't see any reason at all why this starting 11 cannot be pushing for automatic promotion this season. And we do need to thin the squad out ever so slightly, so all the players you can see listed on screen will either be sold or loaned out like Florenzi. This is just to balance out the squad, and I'll probably sell all these players and loan out Florenzi off camera. But our starting 11 is locked in. This will be the team to take us into season number 2, and I don't think there's anything else we can do other than simulate forward straight through to the end of the season. So we have arrived at the end of season number 2, boys, and we have in fact achieved promotion to the Serie A for the first ever time in Cosenza's history, finishing 2nd in the league on 81 points, losing just 5 games all season and scoring 85 goals along the way. I know the real hard work begins. We have got to keep Cosenza in Serie A next season. In the Coppa Italia, we lost in the first round once again, this time to Sampdoria 3-2. Hopefully next season we can have a bit of a cup run. And when I said staying up was going to be difficult, I wasn't lying. This is how the team's looking at the end of season 2. We've got a lot of players in this first team who are just not good enough for Serie A standard. We're going to need new fullbacks, a new winger, and definitely a new centre-back. Otherwise, we will be relegated at the first time of asking. So we're now putting a lot of trust in the free agents list to have the right players available for us. So in terms of stats, it was actually Alexander Nazarenko who was our best player this season. He had an unbelievable season, getting 28 goals and 5 assists. Horvath and Bogus had good seasons as well. They both got 19 goals and got similar assists. The rest of the team are lacking behind in terms of goals. Hopefully we're not over-reliant on Nazarenko's goals to keep us in Serie A next season. So we have arrived in season number 3, lads, and we have got a transfer budget of 10 million euros. We should have no problem signing any free agent, and it is now time to scour through the free agents list, see who we can find, and I'm just really hoping the free agents list is kind to us. So lads, we have been very busy in the transfer market. We have made 5 new signings. Every single signing comes straight into our starting 11. So let's get the low-key signing out of the way. Gabriel de Oliveira has joined us on a 5-year deal. He's 19 years old, 73 rated, plays in the left-back position, looks like a really decent player. He'll be our first choice left-back going into the new season. We then made a very exciting signing in the right-back position as Ronnie Nelson joins us on a 5-year deal. He's 18 years old, 77 rated, worth 21 million, has really decent physical stats. He's a huge upgrade in the right-back position for us. We would then go on to sign a very exciting centre-back, and we really needed a centre-back as well. Tony Berger joins us, 78 rated, 19-year-old, showing great potential, worth 17.5 million, has really impressive stats as well. Now onto our 2 real players, and the first one is a player you should be familiar with. Arno Tenas joins us on a 3-year deal. He's 25-year-old, 78 rated, really solid goalkeeper, and actually helped me win a Champions League trophy in a recent rebuild. And we've done something that we don't usually do on this channel. We've actually signed a 30-year-old centre midfielder. Luis Chavez was available. He's 79 rated, really good stats, and he's worth 17 million. He's instantly the best player at the club, and he'll be starting for us in the centre midfield position, and I actually think we've done some really good business in this transfer window. And we have also sold a few players as well this season, people who wouldn't really have got any minutes on the pitch, and we have sent Christos Korporaldis out on loan to Palermo for the season. And with our new signings added to our starting 11, I've gone from thinking we had no chance of staying up at all this season to actually thinking we're in for a shout. We've really improved the average overall of the team by bringing in players like Chavez, Berger, Nelson and Tenas. Hopefully come to the end of the season we've stayed up, and some of these players will have grown to 80 rated. And I actually think we've got an okay bench going into season number 2. We've got quite a few players over 70 rated. Florenzi's come back from his loan at 74 rated. I do think we've got enough to stay in Serie A next season. But being perfectly honest, lads, there's not really much more we can do other than simulate forward straight through to the end of the season. The starting 11's locked in. We've sold the players we wanted to sell, and we've brought some new coaches in. Let's see if we can actually stay in Serie A. So we have arrived at the end of season number 3, boys, and trust me, I am impressed. We have actually finished 9th in the Serie A table on 51 points, scoring 60 goals, but also conceding 60 goals. We won 14 of our 38 games. We did lose 15 times. There's a massive 20-point gap between us and the European places. Hopefully the free agents list is stacked full of talent, and we can start working towards, at the very least, a Conference League spot in season 4. But lads, we would once again lose in the first round of the Coppa Italia to Brescia 1-0. That's 3 consecutive first round exits in this competition, and that is just not good enough. But this team is definitely starting to look good on paper now, boys. We have got 4 80 rated players in our starting 11, which we love to see. Horvath's had a great season in terms of growth, going 79 rated as well. The weak links of the side are definitely the right wing position, and I'm going to say central midfield position in De Silva. De Oliveira has actually grown by 3 overalls this season, so I may give him 1 more season to grow. So we're going to be really focusing on central midfield and right wing. However, we will scout the entire free agents list to see if anyone can come into our starting 11 straight away. And you know what, lads, our bench is actually pretty decent. And in terms of stats, Mateusz Borges was our best player, getting 21 goals and 5 assists. Horvath got 9 goals and 12 assists, but after that, lads, Lopez and Nazarenko added 9 goals. Not many goals at all from the rest of the team, which is something we have really struggled with so far in this rebuild. So we have arrived in season 4, lads, and I would be pulling my hair out if this wasn't a free agent only rebuild. We've only been given 13 million euros. It shouldn't affect us too much as we're only signing free agents. So let's get to work scouring the free agents list, and let's see what we can find. So lads, after an in-depth search of the free agents list, we have made 4 new signings, and one of them is an absolute stormer. Kicking things off, we brought in right back Ivan Lombardi. He's 18 years old, 75 rated, looks like a really decent player with showing great potential. We're going to retrain him to a left back. He will be our starting left back going forward, as I feel like he's got better potential than De Oliveira. Our second signing of the window was a backup attacking midfielder, Taif Chong. He joins us on a 4-year deal. He's 27-year-old, 76 rated, looks like a pretty decent backup player. Just gives us another option off the bench. We will then bring in a centre back who will be our starting centre back going into season number 4. Rafa Acuna has joined the club on a 5-year deal. He's 18 years old, 77 rated, got really good good stats, is also an exciting prospect and worth 20 million euros. He will probably replace Chikwete in the starting 11 as he's obviously got much higher potential. And now it's time for the marquee signing of season number 4 and our biggest signing today. Jack Grealish is officially a Cosenza player. He is 82 rated, 31-year-old, unbelievable stats, has won multiple Premier Leagues, won a Champions League, and I'm hopeful we'll get a good couple of years out of him at the top of his game. He'll be our starting left winger going into season number 4. And with our new signings added to the starting 11, looking a lot stronger heading into the new season. Grealish is a massive upgrade on the wing. Nazarenko swaps over to the right-hand side. Lombardi and Acuna have got excellent potential. I'm hopeful both of them will either be over or around 80 rated at the end of the season. The squad looks a lot stronger, boys. We couldn't manage to bring a new central midfielder to the club. Josh Da Silva's 77 rated, 28-year-old. Florenzi has just come back from his loan, who's only 1 overall lower and 25-year-old. We're probably going to put him into the team and have him as our starting central midfielder for this season. So that will be the team that takes into season 4. It's been improved. I've really seen no reason at all why we can't at least challenge for Conference League football this season. And we have sold 3 players, lads, brought in around 5 million euros in profit. These 3 players didn't really have any future at the club, just helps trim down our squad size. Now the team is locked in for season number 4. There's not really anything else we can do other than simulate forward straight through to the end of the season. Hopefully we are in fact challenging for a Conference League spot. But we have arrived at the end of season number 4, lads, and in season number 5 we will be playing Champions League football, as we have finished 4th in the Serie A on 69 points, only actually 9 points off league leaders Napoli, and in just 4 seasons we have taken Cosenza from the worst team in Italy, the Champions League, using only free agents. And you know what, lads, I'm even happier about this. We got all the way to the semi-final of the Coppa Italia. That's right, we didn't lose in the first round. However, we lost on penalties 5-3 to Juventus after drawing the tie 5-5. So this is the Cosenza team that has got us to the Champions League, and this team's looking absolutely stacked. Only 1 position in the starting 11 is below 80 rated, that's Florenzi in centre midfield. All of our young players are developing at a really nice rate. This squad is actually really underrated in my opinion. Obviously we need to target a new central midfielder in season 5, but it is just a case of we get what we're given. Hopefully there's a really good one on the free agents list. The bench and reserves are looking really strong as well. We're actually building a really strong squad. Just need the free agents list to give us a really good central midfielder in season number 5. And in terms of stats, Mateusz Borges has been insane for the last 2 seasons, getting 28 goals and 10 assists. But Jack Grealish was incredible this season, 23 goals and 8 assists, showing why we brought him to Italy. Hopefully he can carry this form over into season number 5. So we've arrived in season number 5 and the board have finally put their hands in the pocket. We've got 39 million euros, not that it affects us too much. Let's get now searching the free agents list and try and get a central midfielder to the club. So lads, we have been hit with the worst ever set of free agents I've ever seen in FC25. But there is a silver lining. We've made 1 signing in this transfer window. Jakob Jensen, a 6'5", 21-year-old, 80 rated goalkeeper. He's showing great potential, and Tenas has pretty much maxed out at 80 rated. He's 7 years younger than Tenas, and hopefully he'll be an endgame player for us, so he's going straight into our starting 11. And I'm not going to lie, lads, this could be our only signing of season 5. The free agents list has been dog. After some really intense searching of the free agents list, boys, we have found a central midfielder, well, CDM, and it's someone we used before and someone who got to 90 rated. Tyler Morton was on the free agents list. No idea how I didn't see him. 25-year-old, 79 rated, worth 20 million, really good player. The only downside to Tyler Morton is that he's a CDM, so I'm going to have to play him out of position. But there is a silver lining, as we can retrain his position to be a central midfielder in 2 weeks, lads. We could be onto a winner here. And we have sold 3 first-team players, lads, just to balance the books at the club. That will be our transfer window capped off. Our starting 11 is locked in, and the team's looking really strong heading into our first season in the Champions League. And our bench as well is just full of talent, lads. Really excited to see how we get on in season number 5. Now, this season, Cosenza are debuting in the Champions League, and we've got some pretty difficult league phase fixtures. We travel over to England to take on Manchester City. We also have to take on Bayer Leverkusen in Germany, whilst also hosting Real Madrid at home, so we're going to have to be at our best to get through the league phase. Let's simulate forward straight through to the end of the season and see if we did. So we have arrived at the end of season number 5. I think it's season number 5 anyway. We have won Serie A for the first time in the history of Cosenza, and we have won the league title on goal difference. That is insane. Us and Juventus finished on 84 points. We had plus 10 goal difference on them, meaning we are the champions of Italy. And with this, we are once again in the Champions League in season number 6. However, our great form would not be carried over in the Super Cup. We lost to AC Milan in the semi-final. But we would go on to beat AC Milan in the Coppa Italia final, adding a second trophy to our trophy cabinet and a second major trophy in the history of Cosenza. But Milan would get their own back on us as they knocked us out of the Champions League, beating us 6-3 over 2 legs in the quarterfinals, might I add. We have been excellent this season, and the squad is now starting to look very, very strong on paper. We've got some genuinely world-class players in our starting 11, like Acuna, Nelson and Burgos. Really happy with how this team is developing, but we will have a bit of an issue in season number 6. Grealish and Chavez have been amazing players for us, but they are both aging. Chavez is 33-year-old, Grealish is 33-year-old. They are very likely going to start declining in season number 6, and we will probably have to bring replacements in. However, being realistic, we're probably not going to get players who are better than them. We'll have to try and see if there's any regens who've got good potential to replace them. Now, in terms of stats, Mateus Burgos was unbelievable this season, getting 44 goals and 19 assists in 56 games. He could be one of the best players we have used in FC25 so far. Grealish and Horvath had great seasons as well, along with Nazarenko. Just need these good performances to continue in season 6. So we have arrived in season number 6 and we have got 66 million euros in the bank. Still a pretty poor budget for a side who've just done the domestic double. However, all eyes now turn to the free agents list. Can we bring replacements in for Chavez and Grealish? So our transfer business for season number 6 has been completed, and you know, in these free agent only rebuilds, I'm always slating the free agents list, saying there's no one on there. Well, this season we have had our prayers answered. We have managed to bring in an upgrade on Jack Grealish, as Samuel Lino was out of contract. He's 82 rated, which is the same as Grealish, but he's 4 years younger, so he could develop a little bit more. Worth 30 million, got really nice stats. He's going to be our starting left winger. And oh my god, have we found an amazing centre midfielder. Gabriel Janssen joins the club on a 5-year deal. He's 21-year-old, 83 rated, worth 81 million. The stats are insane, has potential to be special. Fairly confident this could be Kevin De Bruyne's regen. He is going to be a massive player for us throughout the rest of this rebuild. And with our new signings in the team, our starting 11 is locked in for season 6. This team's looking amazing on paper. We just need to keep developing, try and improve on a quarter-final run in the Champions League, defend our Serie A title. Now, our bench is absolutely stacked, lads. So many options. Chikwete, Grealish, Chong, Chavez. Just wish there was a decent backup striker on the free agents list. I might have one last look, but I'm really happy with this team, boys. And we have managed to find a backup striker on the free agents list. David Pietro, 18-year-old, 73 rated, 5-star weak foot, looks like a decent striker. We're going to bring him in and he's going to be our backup striker for season number 6. So in terms of our transfer business, that's going to be our window done. We're not looking to sell anyone at all in this transfer window. And this season we're back in the Champions League, as we know, after a really successful run last season. In the league phase, we do have some pretty difficult fixtures, taking on the likes of Atletico Madrid, Newcastle United and FC Porto, so we will have to perform in the league phase once again. I'm confident that we will do. Let's simulate forward straight through to the end of the season. So we have arrived at the end of season number 6, lads, and we have in fact won back-to-back Serie A titles, but this time we were unbelievably dominant, finishing 11 points clear of second place AC Milan. Won 25 games, lost just 5, scored 85 goals. We absolutely dominated Italy this season. However, we did lose on penalties in the Super Cup to Inter Milan, a cup that we've still yet to win. But we would make it back-to-back Coppa Italia victories as we beat Napoli 2-0 in the final. We are cleaning up the trophies at the minute. And lads, we are actually in the Champions League final. And lads, we'll be taking on AC Milan once again, but this time in the Champions League final. And we had a really weird run to the final because we finished 18th in the league phase, actually losing 3 games on 11 points, meaning we had to play a playoff game. In our playoff game, we were drew against Feyenoord and we beat them 7-2 over 2 legs, absolutely battered them. In the round of 16, we would draw Eintracht Frankfurt and beat them 4-2 over 2 legs, before beating Borussia Dortmund in the quarterfinals 4-2 once again over 2 legs. And then we had a very close semi-final against Bayern Munich, who we beat 2-1 over 2 legs, set up an all-Italian final against AC Milan, and we have played each other and competed so many times in major finals and in the league this season. It's going to be a very interesting final. And looking at our starting 11, lads, I am not surprised we are in a Champions League final. Given the fact that every single player you are looking at in this team has been signed from the free agents list, team is actually really, really strong. We've got a 90 rated player in Janssen who's grew by 7 overalls this season, an 88 rated centre-back and striker, really good wingers and full-backs. I'm excited to use this team. And in terms of stats, Mateusz Borgus wasn't as good as he was last season, but he was still amazing, getting 39 goals and 15 assists. An 88 rated, I'm convinced he's the best striker in Serie A. All our players did perform this season. They just need to perform one last time in the Champions League final against AC Milan. So here we go, boys. It's Champions League final time, live from Old Trafford. It's an all-Italian clash, as we know, AC Milan versus Cosenza. We are really up against an amazing AC Milan team with the likes of Andreas Christensen, Lewis Hall. That's a really poor ball though. Borgus could be in. Cut across, could be 1-0. Oh my god, Horvath in the 10th minute. It just had to go in. It just had to go in. Oh no, oh no, oh no. In front of him. Oh my god. No! Nope. What a save. I'm going to give away a penalty. I knew that were going to happen. I knew that were going to happen. I pressed B to block the shot and give away a penalty. After the danger... Oh, well, I can't have any complaints. And Bailey, I think, who is a regen, sticks it away. AC Milan take the lead in this final, and we have got it all to do thanks to my terrible defending. Let's go though, boys. We're going to get chances in this game. That Horvath miss is looking absolutely massive at the minute. Lino, great turn. Instant response. Instant response. Instant response. It is an instant response, lads. Borgus equalises for us. Brilliant work from Lino to skin his man. Puts the ball across the 6-yard box. And the most informed of informed strikers, Borgus, is there to just tap the ball home. I know I've been butchering his name the entire video. Really nice layoff. Never going to miss from there. A man of his skills. Good tackle by Acuna. Don't give the... What is he doing? Oh my god. Come on. Defend. Defend. Oh, we've not been at the races so far today. We did manage to get back in the game, but Milan are just banging on that door. Nervy half, to be fair. Milan probably unlucky to not be in front. Let's see how the second half goes. I think their forward players are just getting well too into the game. We're showing them a little bit too much respect. Really nervy final, this, boys. I can't lie. They're playing really well. That's nice. That's really good football. Nazarenko cut in. Great turn by Nazarenko. Janssen could be in. Oh, it's not. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. Borgus. It's 2-1 to Cosenza. What a finish by Borgus. We've been under the caution this second half, lads, I can't lie. We've finally got a sight of goal. Good pace by Borgus to get past his man. We've got about 25 minutes of in-game time, so hold on. Brilliant finish. Surely we can keep him out. Great ball as well. Morton. Janssen could be in. This to seal it. Puts it across. Nazarenko has to. He does, boys. It's 3-1 with 15 to play. Oh, it's brilliant. It's a great ball by Janssen. None of their players are back. They've committed too many men forward, and Nazarenko is never going to miss. We're 3-1 up in this final. Got a foot in there. Good save by Janssen. Oh dear. Oh, I get across to him. What a tackle by Acuna. And there is the full-time whistle, boys. We have won the Champions League with Cosenza using only free agents. That's to show a lot of grit and determination in this final. AC Milan have been banging on the door. But a brace from Borgus and a Nazarenko sealer sees Cosenza win the Champions League. And all that is now left to do is watch this Cosenza team full of free agents lift the Champions League trophy. Can you believe I'm saying that? And Cosenza are the champions of Europe. That is another rebuild successfully boxed off. So just want to say a massive thank you for watching the video, boys. If you have enjoyed it, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It does really help me out. We're trying to get to 5,000 subscribers, and I will see you next week when we head back to the English Football League.